Hi, it's James, the author of two book series, Those 80s Cars and American Automotive Design Trends. In this car review, I look at the 1969 through 1971 Lincoln Continental Mark III. The 1969 Mark III is not a continuation of the 58 through 60 Mark III to Mark V models. Rather, it's the spiritual and halo model that continues in the tradition of the 1956 through 57 Continental Mark II. Based on the 1967 Ford Thunderbird four-door platform, the Mark III is available as a two-door coupe only. Total sales for the generation exceeded 79,000 units. Introduced in April 1968, the first models are known to collectors as 1968.5-year models, but they are titled as 1969. These models are easily discerned by their lack of headrests on the front seats and by having a standard clock as opposed to a Cartier unit. There was one trim level for the Mark III. These cars elevated the personal luxury car genre with a premium entry. There were many small cosmetic, functional, and regulatory changes made in each production cycle. Some of these are noted in upcoming segments. Luxury features for this period were defined by power boost and accessories and mechanicals. The Mark III abounded in power assists, including power steering, power brakes, power windows, and two-way power seats. Popular options included air conditioning and vinyl tops, both which later became standard, and speed control tilt wheels, six-way power seats, and stereo radios. Base prices increased 25% between 1969 and 1971 from $6,741 to $8,421. Six-way power seats cost $180, speed control $95, power locks $50, tilt wheel $72, and stereo radios about $300. For the period, the Lincoln is a full-size car, but the Mark III is smaller than the mainline Continental models. Overall length is 216.1 inches with a wheelbase at 117.2. Width is 79.4 inches and height is 53 inches. The base car weighed a hefty 4,866 pounds without options. Those options could take the weight of the car to over 5,100 pounds. There was only one powertrain offering. Standard was a brand new 460 cubic inch V8 engine rated at 365 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque. The transmission is a 3-speed select-shift automatic. The front-end styling remained consistent over the 3.5 years with a formal Rolls-Royce-like upright grille flanked by hidden headlamps. The grille will define the Lincoln look for a couple of decades. Turn signal lenses on the fender corners are clear in 1968.5 and add a mandated orange side marker lens later. The style profile changes little over the model run. Exterior rearview mirror styles change in 1970. Wheel cover styles change as well. Vinyl tops were an option in 1969 but were so popular that they became standard in 1970. Mark III's could be ordered without the vinyl top. Few were ordered without vinyl tops, making them desirable for collectors today. Rear windows are power-operated and slide horizontally back into the seat pillar. The 1969 turbine-textured, flared wheel covers are so admired that owners bought these and placed them on their 1970 and 71 Mark IIIs. The rear end also changed slightly over the years. Reflectors are added in the lower rear bumper in 1970. While the shapes remain the same, there are subtle differences in the tail lamp and reverse lamp lenses that are best noticed up close. The deck lid hump becomes iconic for Lincoln and carries through future designs for a couple of decades. The trunk's capacity rating is seemingly small for a car this size with 13.5 cubic feet of space. Lincoln's marketing material is careful to qualify the capacity as being usable, though one can likely place more content into space. The center of the trunk is a deep well and a full-size spare tire is placed out of the way and covered. The dash experienced several changes over the run. The instrument panel housed full instrumentation. Through 1969, the needles are white and changed to orange in 1970. The steering wheel style changes from 69 to 70, losing the horn ring. The ignition switch moves from under the dash to the steering column. Here we see a Cartier clock, which was not available on 68.5-year models. They were introduced with 1969 models and would be on all Lincolns from 69 through 79. 69 models sported two simulated wood grains in either East Indian rosewood or English oak. In 1970, real walnut veneers are used. Mark III's came with the twin comfort lounge seats with dual fold-in armrest. Rear seat passengers could also enjoy the comforts of a center armrest. Standard appointment was a Lamont nylon fabric with leather optional. The diamond sole pattern 1969 is updated in 1970 with a different diamond pattern look. 1971 models offered a high-back, almost bucket-like seat up front. The Lincoln Continental Mark III blazed into the market, announcing that it is the most authoritatively styled, decisively individual motor car of this generation. It was panned by magazine writers for being overstyled, but the public loved it and bought it. This convinced Lincoln it had the right stuff, and they would follow these design cues for 2 decades. The design propels Lincoln to the top of the premium personal luxury car market, and it overtake the Eldorado in a 70s sales race. Besides the changes previously noted, many other changes were made, and here are a few more. Vacuum locks and vacuum trunk openers from 68.5 are replaced with electric units. Sure-track brakes are introduced in 1969 and made standard in 1970. These are the precursor to today's ABS brakes. Door sills are polished stainless units in 69, and 70 adds a rubber inlay. Because there are many functional and cosmetic changes over the years, research these cars and determine your must-have designs and technologies before buying one. For more information about American cars of the 80s and popular American automotive design trends such as the personal luxury cars and couture cars, visit www.those80scars.com.